What's going on, guys? Thank you for coming by to my review for The Kitchen, being released on August 9th. I had a chance to see an early screening of it on Monday night. If anyone had a chance to see it as well early, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this movie? Or if you're looking forward to seeing this movie this weekend, why do you want to see it? And don't forget, consider clicking on that subscribe button and the bell in order to hear any more future content from me for your future enjoyment. The Kitchen is a crime drama film written and directed by Andrea Berloff and based on the Vertigo comic book miniseries of the same name. The film stars Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elizabeth Moss as the wives of Irish mobsters who take over organized crime operations in the 1970s in New York City's Hell's Kitchen neighborhood after the FBI arrests their husbands. First, let's talk about one of the more obvious elements here, that this movie is having a female cast in a mobster film. Now, even though this is based off a DC comic book that's been around for only a couple years, cinema has used gangster films for nearly 90 years. Legendary actors such as James Cagney, Paul Mooney, Edward G. Robinson ruled the gangster scene in the 1930s with classics such as The Public Enemy, Scarface, and Little Caesar. And by the 1970s to the present time, actors such as Al Pacino and Robert De Niro were bringing classics to life such as The Godfather, Goodfellas, and even Martin Scorsese's upcoming film, The Irishman. Though with all these amazing films, it was apparent that there were no female leads. Yes, there were many fine performances from female co-stars such as Faye Dunaway in Bonnie and Clyde, Lorraine Bracco in Goodfellas, and Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface, but they didn't really possess that lead energy that their male co-stars were given. Now here we have Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elizabeth Moss portraying wives that take over their Irish husband's business. For each of these three women, they held the traits of aggression, perseverance, intelligence, and threatening demeanor, and in the end makes the movie more convincing and entertaining. And what you get with The Kitchen in regards to the female cast, I feel it's just as entertaining to watch and fun as much as it is for a male gangster film, even though at times the movie stumbles along the storyline and doesn't know what kind of movie it wants to be other than a mobster film. Another thing worth noting is the style it uses to recreate 1978's New York, specifically Hell's Kitchen, and how the movie really sucks you into that time. As soon as the movie begins, we get that vintage 1970s logo Warner Brothers used to use at the time. And for myself, I say when a movie does something like that, I believe we're in for a real treat in regards to the visual storytelling. Now, with most gangster films, they take place in New York City, and here, once again, it's in Hell's Kitchen. With this movie, it does give it a very authentic, convincing look to what it may have been like in 1978. Now, this movie isn't Oscar material, but I really did think what made The Kitchen work other than the cast was its visual representation. Whether it be the music from that era being played, the costumes, the hairstyles, it all had a convincing tone where I was convinced enough to find it satisfying to watch. And the last thing worth mentioning, and probably a more controversial subject, is how the movie reflects its standards towards women today. In movies in recent times, we've seen many gender-bending roles. We have already seen it in Ghostbusters, in Ocean's 8, and in the recent Men in Black film. Now here we are with The Kitchen. Will some people probably not want to see it in theaters because of that? Possibly. Do I think that? I'll just tell you that after seeing it, I liked it, and I even liked it more than I thought I would. As for its representation of women as a whole, this can be seen as a form of women's empowerment. And as with a movie like The Kitchen, it has its own way of trying to get its point across. So much can be said for women today that can be reflected onto women from 40 years ago. Women in 1978 were told that they are only good for one thing, and that is to make babies. They are also told they are not to be taken seriously when leading a business. Elizabeth Moss's character is even nearly raped in one scene. And unfortunately, some people still think this way. This movie is a way of fighting for that equality and empowerment for women. Now, I try not to get too political when I'm talking movies. I just share what I'm feeling, and that's just what I'm seeing here. So in conclusion, the real question here is, will this movie hold up well with the masses? I had fun watching this movie. It's by all means not the best movie I've seen. It was a bit shaky at times with what type of movie it was labeling itself as, but with everything already mentioned, the female leads, the authenticity of its time, and its theming and symbolism were real pluses for me. If you love gangster movies, and if you're open to something different in a familiar world, then this is a possible movie for you. Otherwise, if you're fans with any of its leads, you may be overall satisfied. And with that, I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10 for a decent late summer entry, and one that I surprisingly liked more than I thought I would. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this movie, and I hope you look forward to seeing this film once it comes out on August 9th. So don't forget to comment below if you did already see it. Tell me what you thought about the film. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to hear more from me regarding movies and more. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you later.